Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, Mr. Secretary.
Good morning, Representative.
Since Governor Wolf presented his budget a number of weeks ago, and we've been hearing the hearings, we have heard that the cabinet members have been repeating the themes of the budget continuously. And it's jobs that pay, schools that teach, and government that works. However, I think it's a big however, I think the administration is leaving out one key final part in that theme. It's the taxpayers that end up paying with this. So the full budget slogan should be, if you will, it's jobs that pay, schools that teach, government that works, and taxpayers that pay and pay and pay. Because in my area, we get hammered. My school districts, my two big school districts, absolutely get hammered under this budget plan. Now, Governor Wolf campaigned on a severance tax, as we just had discussions on, to fund education. So the fact that this was included in the budget actually didn't come as much of a surprise to me. I mean, you've heard that a lot here in Harrisburg the last couple years. But it's the level of the other taxes in the budget that absolutely is staggering to me. Now, you know, the governor, I know he's a hardworking man, developed a great business. I really do believe in my heart that his intentions seem to be honorable. But I just can't understand how he can justify adding all these taxes on middle-class Pennsylvanians. And I'm going to give an example. A family of 4 with 2 working adults and 2 young children living in southeastern Pennsylvania, and they earn $100,000 annually. With this tax plan, they're now paying $630 more in personal income tax. In addition, they would now have to pay sales tax of $132 a month. That's an addition on a month. That's if they're paying $2,000 on daycare. And that's all before you count the additional taxes that are paid for diapers, baby wipes, music lessons, candy. I just don't, I'm having a hard time getting my arms around this because I'm a certified public accountant. And I sit here and I look at a family and I know there's going to be property tax relief in this plan. I get that. But when you look at what the additional taxes are that the family has to pay, I looked at Abington Township in suburban Philadelphia. A family in that area will be paying 3 times more in personal income and sales tax than they will be receiving in property tax relief. I mean, that's just one example. And I know we talked about it before, but I look at my own area in Lancaster County, and 13 out of our 15 school districts, when you look at it as a generalization, we get slaughtered under this tax plan. And I don't know how, I mean, that's somewhat an editorial, but I want you to comment on that. I mean, I'm still trying to justify this and trying to get my hands around this.
Thank you, Representative. Jobs that pay, schools that teach, government that works. That is absolutely our plan, and that is at the heart of what this proposal does. We would provide a business tax climate that suddenly goes from the highest CNI rate at 9.99% of any state in the country to immediately in the 15-16 fiscal year a competitive rate of 5.99%. We would step down that rate to then 5.4%, and starting on January 1 of 2018, 4.99%, the 4th lowest corporate net income tax rate in the country. If you include the 6 states that don't even have a corporate net income tax, the 10th lowest tax rate. Schools that teach. We would immediately replace the bulk of the education cuts that were enacted over the last couple years that have turned this Commonwealth from a state with education progress that was unmatched by any state in the country to a state that has increasingly declining test scores for the last several years. And government that works. A government that finally has a structurally balanced budget that would avoid a future that most recently has had all 3 debt rating agencies in the past fall downgrade our debt rating, cost us significant dollars going forward when we have to go to the bond market. It is a comprehensive budget plan that provides competitive tax rates in all of the spending plan that we put together. For our PIT, residents would still have the third lowest PIT rate of all the states that have a PIT. For the sales tax rate would still be competitive with our surrounding states. And for our business climate, as I said when I began my answer to your question, we would go from having the highest corporate net income tax rate in the country to the fourth lowest. That's our plan, and that's why we have a historic opportunity to make this state suddenly competitive again, suddenly a state that is providing significant help and assistance to middle-class families and homeowners that need that help the most.
Here's my point, and it goes back to me, and I've been in private industry for over 25 years, and I am I'm even a practicing certified public accountant now. All I'm asking for, and I'm asking it both from the legislative branch and the executive branch, is a little bit of intellectual honesty on the issue. That's what I'm asking for between the branches of government, and I'm asking for it between both the Republican and Democrat parties. And let's get the facts out there, and let's get the truth. You mentioned the decrease in the corporate tax rate. I understand that. But let's lay it all out there, and let's be honest with the people, and let's be honest about how this hits the middle class. Thank you for your time.